Ugh, this so-called Disney news makes me crazy. So I'm surfing the web like teens do, and I came across this article that absolutely infuriates me. And I really felt the need to set the record straight. First off, it's on a finance-related website. So I know you're all wondering why that would even pop up in my feed, because I'm 16. But I actually do like to read about investing, so that might be why. But anyway, the headline says, quote, 6 splurges that are worth it at Disney theme parks. And I really don't mean any offense to the writer of this, because I realize that it's just an opinion article. But when it's coming from a finance-related kind of website, I just wonder if people might take it as a fact rather than an opinion. And Disney is already brutally expensive, so telling people to splurge even more is kind of worrisome, especially when it's a finance-related website telling you to go for it. So I thought I'd just give you my opinion, since my take on these splurges is radically different from theirs. But again, it's just another opinion. But the 6 splurges they list are: number 1, character dining. Now this one I won't argue with too much because a lot of kids love these, but I hated it. I was 4 years old when my parents took me to a character dining experience at the Grand Floridian. And in 10 seconds, I went from being the kid who loved Winnie the Pooh to the kid who was terrorized by him, because I didn't realize that Pooh Bear was 6.5 feet tall. That was too much for me. So any costume characters after that, I literally ran from. But most kids might actually like the experience. So let's move on to number 2, which is Disney ears. They cost so much, and I don't own any myself that actually came from Disney. The ones I got were from Amazon, and they are huge. See? And they cost about a quarter as much. And every time I go to Disney, everyone comments on them because they're just a little different, and I kind of like to stand out in the crowd. So sure, it's great to have Disney ears, but you can buy them before you get to the parks for a lot cheaper and feel just as special. No, you'll feel even more special because you save some money. Their number 3 is visiting Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I'm baffled by this one. Sure, I think it might be cute for kids who are really into dressing up like princesses and don't mind sitting still for long periods of time while their hair is shaped into tight buns and their makeup is done. But when I was a kid, that sounded like sheer torture. I'm 16, and it still sounds like sheer torture. So please be conscious of what kind of kid you have, because it will cost you at least $100. In fact, their deluxe castle package starts at $229. So you want to make sure you get your money's worth. Their number 4 splurge is tickets to special in-park events. OMG, this one kills the budget. They're talking about things like after-hours parties, which can cost about $135 to $149 per person. But the catch is that you pay that on top of your daily admission. So for example, if you're already going to the Magic Kingdom on the day when there is an after-hours event, and you paid the starting price of $109 for a one-day ticket, then you have to pay an additional $135 or more to stay in and ride rides that you probably already went on that day. And yes, the crowds are a lot thinner, but it makes for a really ridiculously expensive day. So the only way I'd suggest you did this is if you didn't go to Disney during the day and just go for the after-hours events. Their number 5 splurge is Disney Photo Pass. Now this is a tricky one because I love the concept of it, and they do take some really good photos. And my family has gotten them in the past, so it might be worth it for you, especially if it's your first time there. But the lines to get your photo taken have been getting longer and longer, and the crowds are getting bigger and bigger. So that means on top of waiting in lines for rides, you are also going to be waiting in line to just get your photo taken. That's a lot of lines. The only photos that I think might make it worth it are the ones that are actually taken on the rides, like on Space Mountain or Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are really cool. So if it's worth the money to get those, then yes, spring for a photo pass. But if you're just looking for photos in the parks, just know that the lines for the photo pass photographers are just another headache you'll have to deal with. And that selfie you can take with your own phone is free. Their number 6 is Disney Fireworks Dessert Parties. Geez, if you want to know whether that's really worth it, I actually did it and put a vlog up so that you can see exactly what desserts we got for the money. I'll put the link to it in the description below. And the truth is, it is worth it if you eat a ton of dessert and if you really want that better seating for the fireworks. But take a look at my video and judge for yourself, because it might be a fit for some people, but for others, not so much. Like my mom, she didn't eat nearly enough to justify the expense, but Dad and I really gorged ourselves. So that's it, my own personal opinion, a little different from theirs. And hopefully by listening to lots of differing opinions, you'll figure out if those splurges are right for you and your family. Did you do any of these 6 things and found them to be worth it? Please post it in the comments below so that others can learn. Because when it comes to planning a Disney trip, we all have a lot to learn. And then as soon as we learn it, they change it all on us anyway. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe. And don't forget to check out my full review of the Disney Fireworks Dessert Party. The link is in the description below. They just increased the price of it to $114 per adult. Do you think any of these desserts look worth it? Let me know by commenting down below. Thanks again for watching.